Namaskar students, welcome back to another lecture. In this lecture, we are discussing magnetic field inside matters. So in my previous lectures, I have discussed the magnetization and then magnetic vector potential due to a magnetized object. And there I have given the concept of volume bound current density and surface bound current density. And the volume bound current density Jb was equal to del cross M, and surface bound current density Kb was equal to M cross n unit vector, where M was the magnetization vector. Okay, and then in next lecture of that, then I have discussed the physical interpretation of volume bound current density and surface bound current density, and we have learned that if any material is uniformly magnetized, then the volume bound current density is equal to 0 because the internal current cancel each other. But if material is non-uniformly magnetized, then we have seen that this volume bound current density does not equal to 0 because the internal current now no longer cancel each other. But whether the material is uniformly magnetized or not uniformly magnetized, and we have learned that there is always some surface current density which is flowing due to magnetization of the material, so that Kb was equal to M vector cross product with n unit vector. So in this lecture we'll try to solve a few numerical problems. So this numerical problem I'm giving the basic concept, and I will try to solve the magnetic field of a uniformly magnetized sphere. So in this case, what we have a uniformly magnetized sphere. So here let us say we have a uniformly magnetized sphere, and the magnetization of this sphere is along the z axis. Okay, and then we have to find out the magnetic field due to this magnetized sphere. So magnetic field can be find out maybe inside the sphere and outside of the sphere. So let us try to calculate and try to understand how one can determine the magnetic field of a uniformly magnetized sphere. Okay, so in previous lectures, theory part of this lecture, we have learned that if any material is uniformly magnetized, then we know that internal current cancel each other. So therefore volume bound current density that becomes equal to 0. How this can be, I have tried to shown in a diagram here. So let us say we have a sphere. In a sphere there are some current is circulating around the each and every atom. So this circular current is there. If you see the direction of the circular current and the circular current, so both, because this material is uniformly magnetized, so what will happen, the magnitude of the direction is equal, but the direction is different, means opposite. So that is why this current will be cancelled out this current, and this current will cancel this current, this current will cancel this current, this current will cancel this current, this current will cancel this current. But if you see here, this current is no longer cancelled and this current is no longer cancelled. Similarly, around the whole surface of the sphere, a surface means current will be remaining, and inside the current will be cancelled out. So that is why if you take the curl of a magnetization, so you will get bound current density that will be equal to 0, this volume current density that will be equal to 0, but you will get some current at the surface of the sphere. Okay, because there is no adjacent loop to do the cancelling of the current, so therefore you will get a net current which is flowing on the surface of the sphere, that is I current. So this thing we have calculated. It means in order to calculate the magnetic field due to magnetization of a, let us say, sphere, then we have to find out the magnetic field due to this bound current. Okay, surface bound current, and this surface bound current can be calculated, and this kind of surface bound current can be written as equal to M cross n unit vector, where n unit vector is the normal to the surface of the sphere. Okay, so we know this magnetization M is along the z axis and normal to the z direction. Obviously there may be theta or phi, okay. So, but we have chosen here that let us angle we have chosen, that is theta angle, okay, where we have to calculate some magnetic field. So it means the remaining quantity is phi. It means magnetization will be, the surface current will be pointing along the phi unit vector. So we can write Kb is equal to m sin theta phi unit vector, okay. So this is the surface current density. Now it means when we have a uniformly magnetized sphere, then volume current density, that becomes equal to 0 because of the internal cancelling of current each other, but the surface current density, that remains same, that remains non-zero, and that we got, that is equal to m sin theta phi unit vector, okay. Now if you recall my previous lectures where I have calculated magnetic field due to a rotating spherical cell with a uniformly distribution of surface charge density sigma. If let us say, if we have a rotating sphere which is distributed with surface charge, if that rotating sphere will rotate, then because of this surface charge, that will contribute a surface current, okay, because of the rotation of the sphere. So this surface current, which is due to the surface charge because of the rotation of sphere, then can be written equivalent to the this bound current. And this bound current is because of the magnetization, and what we are going to calculate the surface current, that surface current is coming, originating because of the spin of the spherical cell, okay. So let us try to, then it means now our magnetization problem becomes equivalent to the rotating sphere, spinning spherical cell problem. So we know the surface current density, we can define that K is equal to sigma into V vector, means K vector is equal to sigma into V vector, where V is the velocity of the rotating sphere. So we know, we have already learned that how one can calculate this surface current density. Let us say we have a this a spherical cell. Why we are considering spherical cell? Because the current in the magnetized sphere, that is flowing only on the surface of the sphere. That is why the uniformly magnetized sphere problem now converted into a spherical cell problem, okay. So we can calculate the current density. So current density is equal to sigma into V, and we can write that is equal to V vector is equal to r cross omega, where r is the radius of the sphere and omega is the angular velocity of the spherical cell. So in order to solve this problem, let us say we consider a small displacement vector on the spherical cell, that is let us say this is angle is theta with respect to the magnetization or with respect to z axis, and then d theta there is infinitesimal displacement. So this displacement length, that will be equal to r d theta, and obviously this r d theta will be along the phi unit vector direction, okay. So we can write, and this is the r, this is the radius, and this is the omega is along the x axis, along the z axis. So we can write the velocity that is rotating, okay, along the phi, obviously that will be along the phi direction, so that can be written as r cross omega unit vector. So we can write V vector is equal to r omega sin theta phi unit vector. Now if we substitute this value of velocity in surface current density, then this will be equal to K vector will be equal to r omega sigma sin theta phi unit vector, okay. Now it means the magnetic field of a uniformly magnetized sphere is now becoming identical, or we can say is exactly equal to the field of a spinning spherical cell, okay. It means whether we calculate magnetic field due to a magnetized sphere or we calculate magnetic field due to a spinning or rotating sphere, that magnetic field will be quite identical, okay. So if magnetic field is quite identical, it means the surface current, when this spherical cell is rotating with a surface charge density sigma, so this surface current should be exactly equal to the bound current what we have calculated in case of magnetized sphere, that is equal to Kb, that is m sin theta into phi unit vector, okay. So it means both current are equal, so we can write this kb equal to we can write here, so that is, I think I have not written here, so that obviously this kb will be equal to then, so this kb, that is bound current, this kb vector will be equal to, that is this current, that is k vector. Okay, so this is the current density, this is bound current density, this bound current density is because of the magnetization of the material, and this current density that is coming, which is quite equivalent to the spinning spherical shell with a uniform surface charge density sigma. So if we equate this both equation, this kb and k, so this m sin theta phi unit vector and r omega sigma sin theta phi unit vector, so this sin theta and phi unit vector will be cancelled out, so we can get magnetization of the magnetized sphere, that is equal to r omega into sigma. Okay, now we have to find out the magnetic field inside the sphere or outside the sphere. So in order to find out the magnetic field inside the sphere or outside of the sphere, what we have to do, we'll draw a small circle on the sphere of radius, if we draw, so of thickness r d theta. Okay, this thickness of the this circular circle will be r d theta, and radius, obviously this will be the radius of the circle, so that is, let us say d vector, and this d vector if you find out, so this is theta, this is r, so obviously this will be r sin theta and this will be r cos theta. So let us say this is the z vector along the z axis, that is z distance, and this is d vector, so this is r sin theta and this is z is equal to r cos theta. It means the radius of the sphere, radius of the circle what we have drawn on the spherical shell, that is r sin theta. So we know the magnetic field due to a circular ring, current carrying circular ring, because this circular ring have some thickness, that is r d theta, obviously. So this r d theta, this because surface charge density is uniformly distributed on the sphere, so the spherical shell, that means r d theta, thickness of the circular ring, that also have a sigma charge density. Okay, if this have a surface charge density sigma, then if this circular ring is rotating, okay, so that will contribute a current. If this is contributing a current, that means this now this circle of thickness r d theta becomes equivalent to the circular ring carrying current I, and then we can calculate magnetic field at some distance z. So if you do that, so we have already learned that in my previous lectures. Okay, so we know that magnetic field due to a circular current at distance z, that is equal to, we know, that is equal to B, magnetic field due to a ring, that is equal to mu 0 I into current I, that is radius of the circle, radius of the circular ring, that is d square upon in bracket d square plus z square 3/2 along the z unit vector, along the axis of the circular ring. Okay, so now if you replace this formula, if we apply for the current problem, so we know that thickness of the ring is that r d theta, so that will contribute a current, let us say di. Okay, so we can write the magnetic field due to rotating spherical shell for, that is equal to dB for a small infinitesimal value, that is width, that is dB is equal to mu 0 upon 2 di, and here you see the radius of the this ring, that is of thickness r d theta, that is r sin theta, so we can put that is r sin theta square divided by d square, that is r sin theta ka square plus z, that is r cos theta ka square outside of the bracket, that is 3/2. Okay, now our aim is to find out the current which is flowing on the circular ring of thickness r d theta due to the rotation of the spherical shell. So obviously we know that is equal to di is equal to, we know that is surface current density can be defined as a di upon dl perpendicular. Okay, so di will be equal to k into dl perpendicular. Okay, so k we know surface current density, that surface current density is equal to, we know that is we have calculated, so that is r omega sigma sin theta phi unit vector. Okay, and then dl perpendicular if you write, that is r d theta. So if you calculate di, that is r square omega sigma sin theta d theta, so that is value of di. If we substitute and if we integrate this, that will give the magnetic field due to a whole spherical shell. This problem I have already done in my separate lecture. If you want to go, if if you want to learn in this detail, you go to my previous lectures. You can find out magnetic field due to a rotating spinning spherical cell. So I have separately discussed. So if you substitute this value to b is equal to integral dB, that is mu 0 upon 2 integral r square omega sigma sin theta d theta, and then obviously that is r square sin square theta, that is in bracket r square sin square theta plus r square cos square theta, that 3 by 2. If you see here, that is r square can be taken as common, so this will give sin square theta plus cos square theta, that is 1. So this denominator will get r cube, because this r square and 3 by 2, so r cube, and this r cube and this r square and 1 r is here, that is cancelled out, only 1 r will be remaining here, and this sin theta and this sin theta, that will give the sin cube. Okay, and so what will remaining, that mu 0 r omega sigma, this will be remaining, to mu 0 by 2 sigma omega r integral, that is obviously that is in terms of sin cube theta d theta, that is why we can write limit 0 to pi sin cube theta d theta, and this is standard integral that have value equal to 4 by 3. So we write, if we write the magnetic field at the center of the sphere, that is spherical cell, so that will be equal to b is equal to 2 by 3 mu 0 sigma omega r along the z unit vector, that is along the z axis. Okay. Now in order to find out the magnetic field due to magnetized object, what we have to do, we have to substitute. I have already find out this magnetization is equal to r into omega sigma, so that r omega sigma is equal to, replacing for the magnetized material, that is equal to m. So if we write the magnetic field, so in place of r sigma omega we can substitute the value of m. So if we do that, what we will get? We will get magnetic field B is equal to 2 by 3 mu 0 capital M, where capital M is magnetization vector along the z unit direction, and this magnetic field is for when your point of observation of magnetic field inside the magnetized sphere. Okay, this z is less than r. So this is the magnetic field of a uniformly magnetized sphere. Now let us say if we try to find out magnetic field outside of the sphere, okay, then if z is greater than radius of sphere r, then in that case we know that this spherical cell on which current I is flowing because of the spinning of the sphere, so this spherical cell will behave like a magnetic dipole, and this problem again I have done in a separate lecture, spherical cell as a magnetic dipole. So we can find out the magnetization or magnetic dipole of a spherical cell, or simply if we try to find out magnetization is equal to, we know that is magnetic dipole moment per unit volume, that is divided by volume. The volume of the sphere is, that is 4 by 3 pi r cube, that is radius of the sphere. So this will give the magnetization. Okay, magnetization is obviously along the z unit vector, that means magnetic dipole moment will be also aligned, this sphere magnetic, the sphere which is behaving like a magnetic dipole moment, that will be also aligned along the z axis. So this m vector, that is small m vector, can be written as a 4 by 3 pi capital R cube capital M z unit vector. Okay, and now we have already learned, I have already given a separate lecture, that magnetic, if the spinning or rotating spherical cell is behaving like a dipole, then we can find out the magnetic field at a distance z, where z is greater than r, so due to a dipole. So we can write B dipole at r is equal to mu 0 upon 4 pi m upon r cube 2 cos theta r unit vector plus sin theta unit vector, where in present case if you see r is equal to z, where z is larger than the radius of the sphere. Okay, and m is magnetic dipole moment is 4 by 3 pi capital R cube m. Okay, so if you substitute this value, so what will get? Magnetic field due to a dipole, and this dipole is generated due to the rotating spinning spherical cell. So that can be written as mu 0 into r cube upon 3 capital M into 2 cos theta r unit vector plus sin theta unit vector, or we can write magnetic field if z is greater than r due to a magnetized object. Here we have written in terms of magnetization, so that is why we can say that this magnetic field which is along the z axis is due to the magnetized sphere, that is mu 0 r cube upon into capital M upon 3 2 cos theta r unit vector plus sin theta unit vector. So this is magnetic field outside of the sphere. So I hope you understood this lecture clearly. If you have any doubt, any problem, any suggestion, any comment, please do write in my YouTube channel. Thanking you very much for listening me. Thanks a lot.